Generic greetings! The sun is just about setting as we return from our expedition. On the previous episode, we went around and, for a start, made sure that we got this a bit more efficient, and now we are producing all of the rods that... I wouldn't say all the rods that is needed, but certainly we're producing more of these rods, which is making the production of these quite decent, actually. Let's just check, see how many we've got. Wow, okay, that's a lot of rotors. That's really cool. So we've produced them rotors there. We've got these modular frames, which, as you can see there as well, was completely full. So I'll go ahead and place a box in front of it, storage container, which will be placed. This is going to be a bit difficult because I don't know if it's lined up or not. It is lined up now. There we go. Anyway, so we went ahead and did all of that, as I mentioned, which is give us some decent resources. I'm going to pick up that there. Ooh, that was just in time as well. In fact, do I want to place a box here? Yeah, might as well. Might as well. Why not? Rude not to. Rude not to. There we are. So we went ahead and did that. We also had a bit of an exploration, and that's good. We found a fairly decent amount of stuff. We know that we need to, this episode, go ahead and run some power cables, and we also need to do some more research. Speaking of research, you can see we've got this ore, we've got this bacon stuff, a yellow power slug. We will research the ore because it takes 15 minutes, and quite frankly, we're going to be gone quite a time anyway, so quite an amount of time. So let's just dump all of this stuff in here. We don't need any of that in our pockets, and we will have to... we need some fuel for a start off. Actually, what I also need is to pick up this stuff back here, which for some reason there's one resource of one biomass and one limestone. I don't know why, there just is. So in terms of the power poles, we can create 92 of them, I believe. So that should be hopefully enough for our needs, but what I'll do is I'll make sure that we've got all the resources in one go, so we don't have to do multiple runs. So in terms of our truck station, we do need one of those. We have those. We have the resources for that, not a problem at all. We'll obviously need one back here, but we can deal with that when we come back. We need some... what else do we need? We'll need splitters and all that sort of thing. We should have the resource for that, but I'll check in a moment. We need a miner, so a miner 2 would be good, but I think a couple of miner 1s is more than sufficient. We have all the resources apart from the portable miner, and what I'm going to do is just jump onto the truck garage here. I'm going to pick up some coal because that is going to be used for... hang on. Okay, that's just a lost cause. There we go. And that'll allow us to hopefully build pretty much everything that we need. So, let's take a long walk. Oh, also, we'll take a detour. And we'll see if we can gather that thing on the... over there. Oh, actually, speaking of that, then yeah, that's an important thing. Let me pick up this iron ore. The reason I'm picking that up is because we need steel. I think it said steel beams, but let's just go for steel ingots first. 1, 2, 3, 4... and we need some more of those. We have a total of 2 steel beams. I believe we needed 4, so we will gather some more of this. I don't want to get too much because I don't want a couple of bits of iron just left in my pocket, but there you go. Steel beams, that should be about right. As you can see, because we can produce limited quantities of this, it might be worth it to get the miners. We could build miner 2s, but that's 120 resources a minute, and I don't think we'll need it. But then again, would it be worth it if we just say produce those? Steel pipe. You know what? It's possible. It is possible, isn't it? You know what I'm going to do? Can I just grab that? Yeah, we'll do that. Along there. Let's do that then. Let's do that. So encased industrial beam is actually steel beam in, and I was going to say impregnated with concrete, but it's not. It's encased in concrete. Difference. So we need all of the steel ingots. This is burning through our coal supply. Not that we have any great dearth of that. So we need all of the pipes we can get. So we need a total of 18 pipes after what we've already produced. So there's that. And now it's just steel beams, which you'll then have to encase. And we need a total of 8 of those, which is, a problem because that's a lot That's a lot of resources, actually. A lot more than I thought. But we'll manage. We'll manage. Obviously, we've got all of this, so let's just pick that up there. And this will hopefully have a nice... Oh, yes, it's got lots in there. That should be more than enough and more than sufficient for our needs. And then that means that we're basically having to do this run twice. The first run is to literally run there and build it. And then after that, we have to walk back and then take the vehicle, but on a record mode, and do it that way. So... yeah, at least we're hopefully trying to plan it out ahead of time. You can see we also have the ability to make stators now, which is good. Oh, by the way, today's beverages. A nice cup of tea that's actually not tepid like the last episode's one. So that's that done. So we need a total of 7 encased industrial beams, and we now have the 7 produced, so there we are. Right, question, how many steel beams do I have? 2, that's not enough, we need a couple more steel beams. I'll go ahead and pick up this. Obviously what I'm doing here will be affecting somewhat the production line. Not that I care that much, you understand. I'm hopeful that that's enough. And let's just see. So, steel ingot, I think it's enough. Yeah, we can produce 3 steel beams. Right, so that should be all of our resources that we need. That's 2 minor 2s, truck station. Hang on. More concrete is needed. A lot more concrete is needed, actually. If I'm not taking 300 concrete, then I think I'm making a mistake on that. 1, 2, 350. That'll do us quite nicely. I think that's about it. What about coal? 2 coal left. Yeah, I should probably change that. I could just go over there and pick it up off the line. It's strange how little these use and how much the truck can carry. Because I've been playing privately as well as with a friend co-op. Try different maps out and doing different builds and stuff like that. We've got quite far. We've got automated steel production and all sorts on that one. But the exploration is still quite... It's strange. I haven't really done much of it. Hang on, is this totally out of fuel? Did we run out of fuel literally at the last moment and course down here? We did. Wow, okay, I didn't expect that. That means then I really do need to get some... I need to get some biofuel to cut stuff down. Let's get rid of that. I don't need that. I do want that. I need a bit of biofuel. Even a tiny bit of biofuel is acceptable. 2 biofuels, fine, because then I can make whatever we need. Right, okay. That should do us for now. Let's head off. So, the big walk, basically. We need to create... we need to connect a power pole, so we'll say connect there. And we'll hopefully be able to build it up here. Up there is fine. And then basically start taking it down. Is that too far? No, it's not. I think I've mentioned about that tip before. Try and place them on rocks because that will be a lot easier for you. Because you're generally not going to be going that way. Now, in terms of the truck station, I think our steel production is going to be up here, and we'll put the truck station around about here. But that's just a rough guess. And you can see how far the power pole can go. It's quite decent. We have got, thankfully, our sword with us still. So, connections, and then this away. And I understand that we are going to go through certain things, like through trees and such. I'm not too concerned about that. I am concerned about it going through the ground, because the cable, I believe... Oh, can it go through the ground? I'm doubting myself now. Either way, I'm going to try and avoid that as much as possible. And you can see I'm putting it on the side of the road. going to double check to make sure. Yep, that is definitely correct. Just want to make sure that it's connected after all of this. So, I mean, it's not going to take a lot to get where we need to go. What is of concern is the amount of wire that I'm using. Or cable, rather, I guess. Using a fair bit. Now, the question is, where was that lake? It was down here, wasn't it? Now, these ones that I'm putting in, we will remove. These are temporary ones. That's only purpose is to connect up that. And let's see if we can connect that up. No. Why is too long? Okay, that's fine. There to there, and then that should be fine. There we go. We've put an electrical cable straight into a crashed pod that is damaged, that is underwater. Great. It's an insulated cable, he says without any knowledge of the fact. Right, so we'll open that pod and find this. We have a hard drive for FICSIT data, analysed in the MAM to salvage the components. And there we go. Excellent. Still want to go over and get that slug, but it's not going to be today because we have other things on our agenda. Actually, we could probably have... I think that is where we're going to cross there, so we could have gone that way. The question is, do I want to just run the pole over there then? I mean, we've only taken a little bit of a detour. Doesn't really matter, does it? Let me have a quick look. Yeah, that's exactly where you come down. Okay. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother rerouting this because I don't think we need it. I think it'll be acceptable. And yeah. Wire is too long. There we go. And then we need to get that across the river. And this is where the vehicle is going to come down and straight across. So there's a log here, which I'm guessing I can chop up. Yes, I've also got some mycelia. Huh, I have mushroom. I wonder if chopping these things gives me mushroom. I'm guessing it will, since it looks like a mushroom. In fact, it does. This is sort of good, but also not great because I'm now full. Anyway, what we need to do now is go over to the foundations and 8x4, and we need to make a foundation just to get across here. So we'll make it as flat as possible, like so. And it's just going to go straight across. Now, this doesn't have physics, it's not going to dam the river. I am happy to say. And there we go. It's only 2 wide, and that should be fine for what we need. I am going to... There's that bird. I am going to put a wall on it, because I think it basically is the right thing to do. As we've seen in previous videos, not having a wall on these things would have meant disaster for one of our unfortunate... I wouldn't cross that, mate. Yep, that would be... Well, if that cable wasn't insulated, it's going to go straight down there, into ground, through the river. That is probably a dead thingamajig. I don't know what it is. We'll just have to call it that. We've used a lot of our... concrete for that, but that is of no mind. That is fine. And let's head off this way. Now this is where it gets a little bit dodgy because we're connecting all of these up, but it's now going to go down quite a bit. And the issue that we have is that I want to make sure this power line is out of the way. That's actually a bit closer than I'd like, but it should be fine. And then it's going to cross. Say there. And then the question is, where's the coal? So, we've made it in what we're here in one piece, which is good. The coal is over there. So I think this is probably a fine place for it to stop. We could smelt it here. I'm not going to. This is just going to be... Sorry, this is coal. We don't need to smelt it. What am I talking about? So, an absolute rubbish. Truck station. Boom. There's a truck station. Right. So we can connect that to there. We now have a legitimate truck station. It's going to be loading. Yep. And that is now connected up. Excellent. So we need to then bring the power over to where we've got the coal, which I believe was around here. There it is. There's the coal. So we will get minor Mark IIs. 1. And this one we can't build on for some reason, and there is another one over there where those two beasties are. Over there. Looks like 2 of them. Okay. What I'll do then, just because we can, that's going to get connected up, and I'll run the belts. You can hear it starting up. I want to avoid as much as I can this thing clipping to the ground. There's actually one thing I didn't check. I didn't check how much resource we have for the belt, but it looks like we've got more than enough there. So we'll pick up some of these up. We'll go and take out those patrolling fire spitting things because it's on our way to where we need to go. It looks like they're protecting these resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just 4 hits from that thing. That was a nice little stealth attack. And where's the other one? I can't see it. Okay, we will pay no mind. Okay, it's close. Just as I do that, there's a shot was right above my head. What? Oh, there it is. There we go. moved at the last second there. Which way can we take this? Probably that way. Okay. We'll have to chop this down. And we'll have to connect this up. Where's the nearest power? Normally, my spatial awareness is normally quite good, but I'm totally lost. There it is. So that is actually going the wrong way completely. Trying to find the power pole in there. And we don't have enough copper cable. Copper wire, rather. Copper wire. Oh, we might. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Do I want to rotate that right? Right, yeah, I do want to rotate it round first. I'm just checking the copper cable. We do have enough to build if we need. We do have enough copper wire to make more cable. And the question is, do we have enough of this to make the belt? That is the question, and we will find out soon enough. Oh, 60. 40. We're going to just have enough. Just have enough. Okay, so these are producing 120 a minute, and these output 120. So basically, combining them wouldn't really help. But what I'll do, now this is almost certainly silly. I'm gonna preempt this. I need a merger about here. And then you might think, what's going on here? We need a splitter. Now, I'm thinking this is completely and utterly ludicrous. What am I doing? What I'm doing is, hopefully, making it so we don't have to mess around too much. So that goes into there, and that goes into there. So these resources both go into the same one, and then it's on one belt, which then goes to both the fuel area, so this is where it gets fueled up, and to the hopper. If I just put one and one to one to the other, and for whatever reason one gets stopped, it's more of an issue. But that is now, hopefully, this sorted. It is getting coal. And is that really slow? It is slow until the fuel gets filled up. And as soon as the fuel gets filled up like that, it'll then back up. And then it'll should output much faster. Come on! Oh, God, I need some Blade Runners. You can unlock a thing called a Blade Runner, which is basically like a frame that you can jump on a bit better. So that's now full. So is that going to be better? Yeah, there you go. We're now outputting much faster. Right, so that's fine. So we now need to hoof it back to base. I'm going to take a bit of a shortcut up here. So that means that yes, we actually have to go over to there. Should we go as the crow flies just for something different? I was going to say why not, but the reason why not is there's massive valleys and ravines and all manner of dangerous topography to traverse. So I don't know if we will. We'll go roughly this way. He says that we end up just exactly where we ended off. And there's a waterfall, which looks really cool. And I would love to go down there and... Uh-oh. I think we might. I would love to go down there and see if there's like a hidden cave under there because, well, if any cartoon ever... And all the episodes of Scooby-Doo that you watch where there's one of those, there's always a secret base or something under there. However, I don't think we will. I also saw, I think about there, a slug. Getting across that river is just going to be a nightmare. So our priority now is to get back to base and get this coal transported, which means we need to build another truck station, which we pretty much have the resources for. It's just cable, and the cable we can make as soon as we get back. And then we end up bringing the coal back, and that's good because it'll allow us to then start producing steel. Obviously, we need to have some more production for the iron, but we know where that's going to go. So, yeah, this should be alright. And luckily, because we are walking back, and our recording mode will be from the base to the one we've just made and then back over, because that's our recording mode, we'll end up back at base with the truck, so it actually won't take too long. It's almost as if I planned it. And I did, but I also expected it to go wrong and me to get the plans wrong, but hey-ho. Every cloud and all that, we managed to get here fine. Right, so we want to... Yeah, that's where the truck station's going to be, about there, perhaps. In fact, let's just build it. Do we have the resources? Yeah, we've got loads of resources. Craft bench and cable. Build an excess just because we need to. Truck station. There's no reason why it can't just be at the bottom of the hill. Apart from the fact that we probably want to save this space. You know what? I much prefer the idea of the truck station being just off the side of this track. And there we go. And then we will connect that up. And that is going to set to be unloading. So there we are. That is, I hope, correct. So, going to go back to base. The research should be now finished. So we can find out what that new ore is. Spoiler alert, I know what it is because I've experienced it in another playthrough. It's basically advanced wire. It allows us to build much better power poles, but I don't know where the nearest node is. I think it's that away, but we'll see. We'll scan it.
New technologies have been developed based on this new element, primarily in power and electronics, and can now be accessed in Hub Tier 3.
So Tranium technology, we have inventory slots, scanner upgrades, Power Pole Mark 2s. Oh, there's Blade Runners, yeah. Exoskeleton for your lower legs to assist you in movement, and also ingots. We're going to select that because, honestly, we can put all of these resources in right now and get it done. Apart from the wire, which is about maybe a minute away from getting done, and then we can just send that off and we've got it. It would take longer to run over to the other side of the factory and bring the wire back, which is why I'm doing it this way. And the fact that we don't need that. So the hard drive that we found, that we ripped out of the crashed pod that was in the lake, in the river rather. No, lake. It was a lake. That big pool of wet stuff. We managed to, the rain that's not in the sky. Yeah, when we went into that bit, we found a hard drive. Let's just send that off, and there it goes. So, we need to make sure that's filled up. It is. Go back. So, one of the important things is we've got a bigger pocket dimension, otherwise known as inventory slots, and we also now have all of the scanners for the ore and things like that, which is good. It's one generic unit of sneezing. Right, so this is where we will start, and we need to drive all the way to the other place, excuse me, and then come back. So we will start here, we start the recording, and we'll go up there, and hopefully we will not mess this up. So we will go for start recording. You can see on the bottom right it is now recording, and if we look back over just briefly, you can see there's some blue arrows being left. That is the marker to say this is where we've come from, and it shows us basically the path of travel and what's going to happen there. Now it is a node system. It doesn't exactly copy as a full one-to-one the movement of the truck from where you've driven it. It is a node system, so it'll go from each node to node. So if you make a sharp 90-degree turn on like an angle like that there, on like a little hill, if the node is sort of behind it, you can end up, this thing will try and take a shortcut and it won't work out. So the general advice is to be smooth rather than fast. It's also why I put this bridge in, because we could have went over the river without any difficulty whatsoever. However, with that in, it's going to be much easier. Now, this is where it gets difficult, because this path is quite steep, and also there's a lot of foliage in the way, and also the suspension is working its hardest, but it's not stopping this thing from rocking all over the place. It's listing like a ship at times, so there we go. That's going to come back. We will drive to here, which will hopefully load it up, but we'll see if I've got it correct. It is not loading anything. There wasn't a box on that. I'm hoping it's correct, but I'm not going to be able to stop. You can pause the recording, but experience tells me that that's probably not a good thing to do. It's broke the last twice I've done it, so I just avoid it completely. So we're going to get up here. We can't really get any speed up to be in any real danger coming up this hill. You can delete nodes as well. I think I mentioned that when we did it the first time, when we got the original coal. It's strange that all of our coal sources are are supplied by these tractors. Should probably put a little extra section on the bridge there, but I don't think it matters too much. I mean, I mentioned it before, but it's a very nice looking game at times, like in these bits here. And this is one of 3 maps that's currently in the game, and obviously the game's going to be in early access for, I believe it said a year, but that probably means about 6 years, going off pretty much every other early access game. But yeah, it's quite large. I think it's his largest map though, to be fair. But I've certainly not explored most of it. There's a cave that I've been in, and there's a cave actually just next to the base, so I can show you that at some point. But yeah. We're going to have to slow it right down here and then be ready. Now this is the difficult part, because we're going to have to do a bit of a UE. So we're going to go past that. That should... Oh, that's not doing anything at all, which is worrying. And then this will come round, and then we will finish recording. Now let's just stop there. How are the nodes? Those nodes are actually okay. So let's check this. No, I've got it wrong. That should be set to unloading, and the other one So this never picked anything up, right? Oh, hang on. Or did it? It's not full. I got the other one wrong. Damn it. Okay. I thought we did. So the other one's wrong. I'll drive back, check it, and then, yeah, we'll see what it is. But it also gives us the opportunity to check the nodes, so that's the excuse we could go with if you really need one. The nodes are okay, good separation. I've never ran 2 vehicles on one path. I really don't plan on it either. That just sounds like it's fraught with problems. I mean, I guess technically, if you space them out correctly, as in you always drive on the right or drive on the left or something, then there should never be any issue. However, where things get tight like this bit here, when they're crossing, especially on this bridge for example, that could cause issues. And as I said, it's a node system, it doesn't exactly follow where you've put it. It tries to go from one node to the other. With limits as well, there's times when it does things like that because it's it's doing its utmost, but it doesn't understand like the hills there. It just goes max speed and whatever happens happens. Oh, did we get a bit of drift on there? I think we did. So we'll go over to this and we will change that to loading, and that should be fine now. I just need to back out and then go back in. Truck station loading status. Full. Perfect. Okay. And that's it. Good. Hopefully that's alright now. And by the time we get back, I think our research will be finished into that hard drive. They're the only 2 hard drives I know about. I don't know if there's any more or any wreckage, because as I said, in terms of the map, even though technology wise I've got a little bit further than this playthrough when I've been doing private games, I've not explored the map much. On purpose as well. Because I didn't want to spoil things too much. There's our waypoint there, otherwise known as a very expensive space elevator. Although we only built the bottom bit, the rest was sent top down. So, I'm hoping this is all now correct. Crush. Might as well crush this while we can. What I'll do then... Yep, that's unloading, that's fine. So, basically, that's correct. We will hide the path nodes, enable the autopilot and get out, and that will head off. So, bye. Let's hope it comes back. Oh, look at that pod returning in... Well, it's already returned, actually. I was going to watch it land, but it's returned now. The game I've been playing co-op. The game does have issues in co-op. It really does. There's been some weird bugs and desyncs, and like I can't pick anything up. Like these bits here, like these berries, I can't pick any of them up around the factory because I'm the client rather than the host. Also, overclocking just doesn't seem to take at all if you're the client and you're altering stuff. But there's been weird issues with vehicles just going in completely other directions, and I think there's going to be a ravine just full of vehicles at some point. We've got 30 seconds left for that hard drive, so I think we will wait for that. In terms of what we can get, we've got alternates for rotors, which require reinforced iron plates and... Hang on, what? Oh, alternate rotor. Oh, the milestone cost is that. Okay. I guess I'll get the alternate rotor. Don't know where we got that from. But these frames should be... How are we doing for frames? Oh, we're doing quite well for frames, actually. Production, we're still waiting for iron plate. That noise there, by the way, was the vehicle over there. And, oh, good grief, look at all those rotors, loads of them. Just jump across here. And let's see what we found, research-wise. Ah, there we go. So, the analysis of the hard drive is complete. Select your desired reward. We have alternate blueprint for stators, which is 6 pipes, steel pipes, and 25 quick wire, which is that's Cetarium. Now, because we don't have any of that automated, I don't think I'm going to pick that one. We've got alternate blueprint for heavy modular frame, which is all sorts, and I have no idea. You need modular frames, you need encased industrial beams, steel pipe, and concrete. Okay, an alternate wire for blueprint, which is iron. Well, we don't want that one. I don't know about that one, though. Alternate stator blueprint. And I don't know about that one, because I don't know what... Right, I'll go for the alternate stator blueprint, because why not? It might be the wrong choice, but who knows. So we have got quick wire, we've got mycelia, yellow power slug. Let's go for... mycelia. Let's start researching that. And let's do the alternate rotor. So we'll send that. There's the alternate for the stator that we have to unlock as well. And select that. So, oh, do we now have enough that we can smelt that? Yes, there we go. We can now smelt this stuff. Basically gold by the look of it. And we can get quick wire, which then gives us the ability to make more advanced power poles, I think. Yeah, power pole Mark II. Which can have, is it 6 slots? It's, yes, up to 6 power line connections. Okay. But I believe, and I could be wrong about this, where's that stuff gone? I believe that... Smell all this into quick wire. The look is exactly the same. Oh no, it is a bit higher. It is a bit higher, yeah. There you go. Right, so we will leave it there. Not too bad at all. I'm hopeful that this thing is still working. I know it's been a bit of a runaround, but it needs must. But that has really increased our chances now of getting a fairly decent amount of iron. In terms of iron, we do need some iron ore. Well, there's some there, because I can see it here. Yeah, there's 4 there, and there's 2 over there. So we'll probably go for the 2 over there. That'll probably be the ones we get, because this one, it means we have to go over the top, and I don't want to interfere with that. It looks like we've got more resources here, more coal than what we had previously, so that is good. Right, we will leave it there. Next episode, we'll go ahead and probably go for the iron, which is, sorry, the steel. Iron over there, coal here, start smelting it here. And then the production goes that way. So we'll see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.